Hello, good evening, good afternoon, hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to Super Coaching by Testbook IAS. This is Venkatesh, your faculty for geography. In this session, we are discussing about a very important topic by the name Indian monsoon. So if you see Indian monsoon, what is the significance of that? Why we need to discuss about the mechanism of India's monsoon? What is the significance? Let us understand that. Can anyone tell me what is the significance in the chat? If you see the significance, if you ask a farmer, he would say that this is the base of rainfall, right? So when you see majority of India is a rain-fed country, of course you have irrigation, but it is not completely available at every part of the country. You will see that it is India is regarded as a monsoon dependent country. So that is number one. You have a monsoon dependence. So that's why we can say rainfall is very important. So monsoon is very important for agriculture. Then if you ask any businessman, say for example, if you are you are a CEO of a two-wheeler vehicles in India, if you ask a businessman, even for them monsoon is important. How? When you see that agriculture monsoon is very good, the season is good, decent monsoons, it will push the rural economy. The farmer will get more money, then they will buy new vehicles, new things. So if you see from the rural economy point of view, even then also you will see that monsoon is very important. Also, not just that, the replenishment of all the water resources of the country happens because of monsoons. So we can say that the significance of India's monsoon varies with respect to the dependence of agriculture on rainfall, dry land agriculture, rain-fed agriculture. You can say about the economy of rural areas which are significantly having a say from the monsoons. Say that is the thing. No, we have the festival season of October, November, Dashara, Diwali, right? All those things are very important. So you'll see that this is a cultural thing. Whatever the money you get it out from, say, from the success of the Kharif crop between June to September, that will be seeing that in the economy of that, right? And that is the thing. So overall, I can say that India's monsoon has a huge role to play with respect to all these kind of things. So for this, without any wastage of time, let us start about India's monsoon, the mechanism of monsoon. So moving forward, just a minute. Just a minute. ये नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
काम नहीं कर रहा, आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा है. इसे ऑन कीजिएगा.
ऑन ही है.
ऑन है. नहीं वहाँ से नहीं आ रहा. इस बार से ऐसे टैप कीजिए, टैप कीजिए आगे बढ़ने के लिए. नहीं पेन से हाथ से.
अरे दोनों.
करेंगे क्या?
ऐसे कर सामने जा भी नहीं सकता
आराम से, कोई बात नहीं, आराम से।
साइड में क्लिक करिए वो
इधर
हाँ उस साइड नहीं पूरा साइड ऊपर ऊपर
हाँ,
ये है ना इसमें मोर में जाइए मोर में इधर मोर में मैं आ रहा हूँ आप बच्चों बात
okay, yeah. So there is some kind of a issue here. So before we discuss that, say if I ask you, what are the things which will you associate with monsoons? What are the things which will you associate? Say as a kid, in my family, while the monsoon season comes, after the school, as soon as they come to home, after the rainy season, as the rains are continuing, you will see that the mother will cook around some hot pakoras, right? So I remember such kind of things. So I associate monsoon with that hot pakoras. Yeah. As a kid, that's what I used to associate. But with growing amount of the knowledge, the understanding of monsoons, I have seen that there are so many things which you are associating. Say things like we'll discuss about these things. Just a minute.
इसे क्लोज करना अभी नहीं करना उसके बाद में
अभी हो रहा है हाथ से.
हाँ हाँ से तो हो जाएगा से हो रहा है सेल बना दिया सर वो वाला मार्कर यूज कर लेंगे पीपीटी वाला
ये कौन सा यूज़ करना है? ये
सर इस पे क्लिक करना थोड़ा हल्का सा नहीं नहीं साइड अलग से हाँ ये
Okay. So with all the technical glitches here, okay, moving forward. So I was discussing about monsoon. What do you mean by monsoon? I have what are the things which are significant? We are discussing about, say, the things of replenishment of water resources, the crucial how monsoons are very crucial for, say, our water resources, how monsoons are very crucial for, say, our agriculture farmers, the farmers, right, and also for the economy, rural economy. So we have discussed that. So for these kind of significance, we are now discussing the mechanism to understand. We are now discussing the mechanism. So when you see the mechanism of monsoons, before we understand about the mechanism, what are the things which you associate? As I am telling you, as a kid, hot pakoras are the ones. But if you grow further, if you see it, monsoons are known by so many unique things. For example, one of the things that monsoons you will be knowing is sudden outburst. You will see that monsoons are known by sudden outburst. What is that sudden outburst? When they enter into India, at the mainland of India through Kerala, you will see that they are entering with very, what you can say that when they are entering very quickly. So, for example, if you give something like a representation, like when you enter into a room, for example, you are entering into a classroom, knocking, may I come in? That is how you enter, right? So that is one method. Monsoons are not like that. When they enter, they would kick the door and enter into the room. That is what you call sudden outburst. Onset of the monsoon is very quick, associated with thunderstorms and all. That is, the monsoonal air rushes into the Indian country, rushes into the Indian mainland. That's what you can understand from the sudden outburst. Then you can also see that they are known for gradual advance they are known for gradual advance. That is, once they enter into India, after the outburst, they advance very, very slowly. It takes so much amount of time. Almost, when do monsoons enter into India? Almost by the end of June, right? Sorry, by the end of May, when you start from Kerala, slowly by July first week and second week, they will complete the entire portions of India, Kashmir, until Kashmir and all the northwest portions and all the things. So it will take from say June first week to July 1st or until 10th. It will take to have India is completely under monsoon back then. That is what you call gradual advance. Also, the monsoons are known for gradual retreat. So when they go back, which we call it as a retreat of the monsoon, they also go very, very slow. Also, you will also see that there is a spatial and a temporal variation. What do you mean by spatial and temporal? Space means what? Area. So there is a variation by area. So the amount of rainfall received in Kerala would not be the same in Ladakh, would not be the same in Madhya Pradesh, would not be the same from Rajasthan to Arunachal Pradesh. So different areas, different amount of rainfall. Time. The amount of rainfall you get in June will be very different from August. Say the 2023 rainfall, if you remember closely, 2023, August was a dry season almost in major parts of India. Not entire India, but major parts of India. It was a dry season, dry month. There was not much amount of rainfall. Whereas September and July have decent amount of rainfall. This is what we are saying, that spatial and temporal analysis. More than that, there is another point. They are also known for what? Breaks. It is not like the monsoons, once they enter, they are completely, it is not like the monsoons, once they enter into India, they are completely with, completely moving for around 4 months. They take some breaks. So they are active sometimes, they are inactive sometimes. That is, you have some kind of active phases as is inactive phases. These active phases, inactive phases, the spatial and temporal analysis, the gradual retreat, the breaks, all these kind of things put together, in economy they call it as vagaries of monsoon. Vagaries of monsoon. So because of these vagaries, there are sometimes rainfall, there are sometimes no rainfall, there are certain areas which receive less rainfall, there are frequent droughts. We can also say that monsoons is two sides of the same, the floods and droughts in India are two sides of a same coin called monsoon. Right? Monsoons will determine whether a certain region is having flood or whether a certain region is having drought. It is all because of this, the active and the inactive phases. And these are the things. So you remember, monsoons means what? They are known for sudden outburst, known for gradual advance, known for gradual retreat. They are known for variations of area by time, as that is what we call it as vagaries of the monsoon, the breaks. So this is the basic thing you need to remember about the characteristics of monsoon. By the way, I haven't discussed you about what is monsoon. Yes, anyone can associate what is monsoon now? Can you provide me information? Monsoons are nothing but, you can see, monsoons are nothing but, they are a seasonal wind. The word monsoon has been derived from a Arabic word called mausin, Arabic word called as mausin, okay. You can see that Arabic word called mausin, which is mausin, which means what? Season. So the word monsoon is nothing but season. No, it is not change in the atmosphere. No. It is monsoon means seasonal wind. We can say that change in the season, not completely change. Maybe what you wanted to, yes, I think that's Champa, right? Hi Champa. So you might be trying to say that it is change in the atmosphere. Yes, You are trying to mention the same, that yes, monsoon means atmosphere only. You will find the change of the air. You will be finding the change in the moisture. You will finding the rainfall, right? So we can say that that is what is called as a season. So monsoon has been derived from the Arabic word monsoon, which means season. So that's the thing. So overall, you can say that monsoons are seasonal winds. What do you associate with monsoons? So what do you think you will say with monsoon? Southwest monsoon, northeast. So for a certain time of the year, that is from June, July, August, September, you can say that they are seasonal winds, or they are called as southwest monsoons. You can see the southwest monsoon, but from late September, October, November, you will see that they are called as northeast monsoon. So southwest and northeast. So Indian monsoon, you will talk about southwest monsoon and as well as the northeast monsoon season. So this is the thing. So what is the basics you have learned until now? You have seen that monsoons are nothing called as seasonal winds. They are not continuous winds. They are not periodic. They are not something like permanent winds. They are a seasonal wind. They will be having a huge impact within the Indian landmass, in the surrounding, in the Indian subcontinent. They are known for the characteristics like breaks and all, right? So if you see this monsoon phenomena, it is very unique only in the part of this side or in the part of Indian subcontinent, not in the entire world, because of various reasons. And if you see the understanding of monsoons, they are a very, very complex thing. They are not as simple. For example, there are various factors which will impact its moving. For example, you can see this what do you say, GIF, where you can see southwest monsoon, how it is moving. You can see the how the low pressure area is there in the Tibet. You can see there is something called as a jet stream which is having an impact. So you can see the jet stream having an impact. You can see the role of Tibet here, which is having a low pressure. You can see this white dotted line, which is called as ITCZ. So there are so many factors which will impact the mechanism. So this is one of the main thing. So this is the one which will lead to the southwest monsoon, right? You can see the GIF file now, right? You see how the winds are blowing. The same thing would be reversed after few months. You see, you can see the winds are moving away now. See here, the winds are entering into India, southwest here. Here it is, northeast. You can see they are moving away from India, right? So this is the thing. So all these kind of things, because of variations of so many things, of the pressure belts, the so many things associated with climate, you will find that impact as there on the monsoons as well. We will learn about all these things. So while we are explaining about the mechanism, we will explain about each thing, which will explain about then all these kind of things. You can see the sudden outburst, then you can see the progress of the monsoon here. You can clearly see the progress here. You see here, these are the dates given by Indian Meteorological Department. This picture is taken from Indian Meteorological Department. On 2nd July 2023, so you can see that on 2nd July 2023, southwest monsoon covered the entire country this year. Then you can see that the dates, you can see all these dates, actual dates of onset, normal dates. If you see the blue color lines here, all these dates indicate the actual date of onset of monsoon of that region, You can see here how it is being moving, right? You can see here. So this is the time where it has completed the complete India is completely under monsoon on 2nd July. So it takes time. It started somewhere around June 1st. The actual date was around, you can see, this year is also known for delay of monsoon. It happened in the first week of monsoon. You see, by around 8th or 9th June, we are here. So it has taken some time. There was some delay, and finally it completed on 2nd July. So this is the thing which you call it as the gradual progress. Then you can see the variations of time. You can see this India's rainfall. Rainfall is varied because of monsoons. one of the prime factor, not the only factor, but the prime factor, almost 75 to 80%. You can see the dark blue color, violet color, something like this, there is having huge rainfall. You can see huge rainfall in the Western Ghats region, you can see huge rainfall here. Then you can see slowly the rainfall is decreasing here. As you move from say east to west, you can see the rainfall is decreasing. The blue color is also decreasing, no? So we can say that rainfall also decreases. Similarly, you can see rainfall also decreases from south to north. Huge rainfall here, less rainfall here. So we can say this is the thing. So rainfall decreases here. You can see here less rainfall. So all these are talking about what? Variations of space and time. Then moving further, this is the spatial temporal variation, this is the progress, these are the characteristics, these are the things we will explain. Now let us understand about these things. So how do monsoons are beginning? Let us understand that. The first thing you will see is the mechanism of the mountain. What factors influence the monsoon? There are so many factors, and the first factor you can discuss is the differential heating and cooling of you can see the differential heating and cooling of the land and water. So, for example, you see at the month of when you already know about this concept in the climatology session, you would be knowing this, that the way the water is heated up and the way the land is heated up is very different from the other parts. For example, you might hear about the concept called specific heat. Specific heat. Can anyone explain what do you mean by specific heat in the comment section, please? Yes? Anyone? Let me see the comments. Some of you are trying to explain. It's okay. Okay. So what do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? Let me explain. The differential heating and cooling of water. Specific heat. What is specific heat? Amount of heat needed to increase the temperature of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Right? Amount of heat needed to increase the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. The way the land heats up, it heats up very quickly. For example, morning 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Both land and water, imagine this is land and this is water, both are temperatures are one and the same. But land gains heat very quickly, so it rapidly heats up. But water, it needs more amount of temperature. For example, if you have provided say this much amount of heat towards land, it gets heated up, its temperature would increase, right? But when you talk about the when you talk about the water almost needs 2.5 to 3 times the energy of the land to be heated up. You see the difference here. So what will happen? By around 8 o'clock, the land is heated up, but the water is also heated up, but not at different level. And by 11 o'clock, the land would be heated up, but the water is slow heating. So overall, you will find that land rapid heating, water slow heating. So what will happen is there will be differences of temperatures between the land and the water. You can see here on the land, because there is rapid heating, it is known for rapid heating. Water will be having slow cooling. Why slow cooling? The specific heat is different. Remember one thing, amount of temperature needed or amount of heat needed to increase the temperature of a substance by 1 degree Celsius is called specific heat. So land needs less amount of heat to be heated up when compared with water. So land rapidly heats up, water is a slow heating. So water is almost needs around 2.5 times the energy or the heat when it compared with the land. It needs to receive so much so that it will increase the temperature by 1 degree. So at 7 a.m. temperatures of land and water are one and the same because sun is a source of heat. By around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, land rapidly heats up, but water slow heating. You see, this is the base, this is the base. By around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, land would be here, ocean would be here. By around 2 o'clock, land would be here, ocean would be here. So, it is based only this much, there is a difference. Because of this differential heating of land and water, heating and cooling of land and water, the land will be developing a low pressure area because of more heat. When compared with this low pressure, this would become high pressure. The ocean is high pressure. So, this is what happens on a daily basis. So, just like you have the phenomena of land breeze and sea breeze on a daily basis, monsoon was also considered as, it is a broader daily phenomena which can be seen in a year. Say, for example, in the summer season, as you can see in the summer here, in the months of March, April, May, June, the land rapidly heats up because of this low pressure is created. The ocean relatively cannot be heated up to that extent because of it is high pressure. So, winds move from high pressure to low pressure. See, temperatures are high, pressure would become low. Temperatures are relatively not high, so pressure is becoming high relatively, right. So, you should also need to understand the differences of pressure here. So, there is a high pressure created in the ocean, low pressure created in the land mass. Because of this, winds enter. And by the time winter arises, when you talk about the winter, land is also known for rapid cooling. Rapid cooling. Water is slow cooling. So, in the phenomena of climatology, I would have explained to you this concept, right, where I told you, if you go to a region like say from a region like the desert region of Rajasthan, you can say Jaisalmer and all, observe the highest temperature recorded in a year in Jaisalmer and also the lowest temperature recorded in Jaisalmer. You will see that difference is quite high. Whereas you compare the same thing in Chennai, the highest and the lowest, the difference is quite low. This is what you call coastal regions will have moderate climate, interiors will have extreme climate. Similarly, you will see that land rapidly cools down as well. So, in the winter, in the months of winter, that is after around September, as the heat cools down, you will see that land rapidly cools down. So, because of the land rapidly cooling down, this is a high pressure area, and relatively when they are compared with that, ocean becomes a low pressure area. So, winds move from high pressure to low pressure area. As they move, you will find that northeast monsoon is moving. Northeast monsoon is happening. It's a very simple concept here. Northeast monsoon. Remember, during the months of December, January, for around occasionally at certain time, for around 1 week, you will be under the impact of chilled weather. The temperatures would come down to single digits, especially in North India. Why? Simple concept. There are these kind of cool winds which are coming from the Himalayas and blowing across the country, which will bring down the temperatures. This is the thing. So, this is all, the conceptually it is the same. The broader thing is what we call it as northeast monsoon. So, what is this concept of differential heating and cooling of land and water is talking about? It is talking about the thing that in summer the land rapidly heats up and the ocean cannot be heated to that extent. So, there is a differential heating because between land and water. So, there is a pressure difference. Hence, winds come from ocean to land in the months of summer, that is June, July, August, September. Whereas, after that there is not much of a difference. In fact, the difference would be difference from high pressure to low pressure. Hence, you are finding the northeast monsoon. So, southwest monsoon and northeast were broader land breeze and sea breeze. That is what this concept is explaining. Is this right? Yes. Is this complete? No. Why? Simple concept. Is it explaining the sudden outburst? Is it explaining why why these things are happening only at the time of June first week? The heat is there even in April, May. Why only until June 1st, as if there is a muhurtam to it? Is there a muhurat to it? That no, this wind you are supposed to come here, why did you come early? No. Then why it is moving? That is what the failure of this concept. This is what you call thermal heating concept. It is right, but it is not sufficient. So, let us consider with this idea that broadly it is correct, but not complete. With this, let us move to the next point. The next one is intertropical convergence zone. Next one, ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone. So, if you see this intertropical convergence zone, what do you mean by ITCZ? It is a zone of convergence of the northeast trade wind and southeast trade wind. In the climatology session, I would have discussed to you about the concept of trade winds, right? Northeast trade wind and southeast trade wind, right? So, northeast trade and southeast trade. So, you have the global wind systems called trade winds. These winds meet at the equatorial low pressure belt. That wind, that is what you call it as, what do you say, equatorial low pressure belt. It is a convergence of two wind systems, hence it is called intertropical convergence zone. So, I can say that it is a zone of low pressure. So, you will see that where are vertical rays of the sun on June 21st, they are in the Tropic of Cancer. Where are vertical rays of the sun in the month of vertical rays of the sun on in the month of March, 21st March, equinox, they are on the equator. You will see vertical rays of the sun are at the equator, and from there they have moved towards vertical rays, they will be at the Tropic of Cancer by the time you come to 21st June. So, what is happening? The vertical rays of the sun are moving from equator towards the Tropic of Cancer. So, vertical rays are here in the month of June, in the month of March, and by June they are here. So, what is happening? Vertical rays are shifting in the northern hemisphere. This is what you call it as apparent movement of the sun. What is that? Apparent movement of the sun. So, you will see that because of the vertical rays of the sun moving upwards, why Tropic of Cancer is an important latitude? You should be knowing it, no? Why? It is simple reason. This is the point where you will find there is more vertical rays of the sun. This is the maximum point. Beyond that, no vertical rays. From here 88, 87, 85, no 90 degrees line, the land will get, the slant rays will be beginning. So, vertical rays are observed only between Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. That is why they are important latitudes. So, you will find that vertical rays of the sun are here. So, by June, vertical rays are more in the tropics. Because of this, the equatorial low pressure belt will also shift northwards. So, because of that, the wind systems, what is that? Because of that, the wind systems, you can see that, the wind systems are also moving upwards. Let me show you this. You can see here. Originally, you have, let me see you this picture here. Actually, we have the southeast trade winds, We would be having northeast trades like this. This is the actual thing, right? But this is the area of ITCZ. But what will happen? Okay, this is the area of ITCZ actually. This is the normal thing. Okay, but what will happen to this ITCZ? What will happen? This will shift, it will go up and down. So, in the month of March, it will be like this. But after that, what will happen is, you will see that the low pressure belt, equatorial low pressure belt will be located here, ITCZ will be located here. Because this is what will happen, the southeast trade winds will cross the geographical equator will cross the geographical equator and then they enter into the northern hemisphere. As they enter into the northern hemisphere, what will happen? The Coriolis force will deflect the wind system towards which side? Towards right in the northern hemisphere, left in the southern hemisphere. You will see that the Coriolis force, we will be discussing that as a new concept, Coriolis force. Because of that deflection, they will move towards right in the northern hemisphere. So, the southeast trade winds are modified into southwest, hence they enter into Indian landmass like this. So, what is happening? By around July, you can see ITCZ where it is located. Because of these, the wind systems are moving like this, because ultimately the winds are attracted towards what? They are attracted towards the low pressure. Winds always move towards low pressure area. So, winds are attracted towards this thing. This is what we can also call it as here monsoonal trough. So, the second factor I would be saying this, the role of ITCZ. ITCZ is there in the northern parts of the India in the months of June, July, August, because of which the winds from the ocean are attracted towards it. This is what the outcome of ITCZ. This is also right, but is this sufficient? Once again, a big no. Is this sufficient? No. You will see that even this ITCZ is unable to explain the timing. Why June 1st? Why there is sudden outburst? It is unable to explain. That is the trigger, right? So, that was one of the main reason. So, with this into consideration, we will be moving to the next topic or the next factor which has a role to play. Okay, let me erase this, right. So, this is the role of ITCZ. With this ITCZ into consideration, right. The other factors which have an influence, you can see that there is a Tibet role. There is a role of Tibet which will explain about the monsoons. The position of the Himalayas with respect to the jet streams we will be discussing. There are concepts like El Nino and La Nina. There are concepts like Indian Ocean dipole, which we will be discussing. All these factors have a role to play in the mechanism of India's monsoon. As of now, what did you discuss? What did you discuss? You have seen that there is a difference of heat between land and water, because of which winds enter into India. You have seen that there is something like the position of ITCZ which shifts north, because of which the winds are attracted towards the ITCZ, right. This is what you have discussed until now. The remaining things we will be discussing in the master class. You can get into the Testbook app, you can get into the master class session which is free for you, and the role of Tibet, all those things I will be discussing in that. Also, not just that, I will be discussing key MCQs of the topic and how to write a model answer on monsoons also further in the upcoming sessions. So, the next completion of this topic would be done in the Testbook app. Download the Testbook app, the link is given in the description. You can go to the master class and watch it for free about the remaining completion of this mechanism of monsoon. Okay, this is it. I would say it was lovely explaining to you guys. Okay, you can see this mechanism. This is what I will be completing that. Thank you for watching. This is Venkatesh signing off. Thank you.